Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Divine Libra Wisdom. I'm back again with a weekly check-in reading for Libra. As you can see, I did a little wardrobe change because I ended up going to a Super Bowl party. But anyway, yeah, happy Super Bowl day, happy Black History Month, all the things. I am first gonna say, yeah, get my disclaimers and things out of the way before I get into the reading. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are returning to the channel, thank you so much for also tuning in. As you listen along, make sure you like the video, make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section. Let me know how the video resonated, if it did. Or if you feel more comfortable sharing an emoji or something, totally fine, whatever floats your boat. Also, make sure you share the video out, make sure you subscribe to the channel, okay? The decks that I'm using, they will be in the description box below. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so by also looking in the description box as well. The information will be there. I don't solicit for readings. You have to contact me. So if someone is acting like me, saying that I will do a reading for free, that's false. I don't do that. Yeah, report it, and let me know also if someone is doing that. I highly doubt that anybody would be doing it at this point, since I'm still fairly new, but for the most part, yeah, I think I'm good for now. Yeah, as far as noise, I try to keep it to a minimum, but where I live, it can get kind of noisy sometimes, as well as my AC kicking on. So other than that, just bear with me. But yeah, I think I got all my little disclaimers and things out of the way. So hopefully everyone had a good Sunday. Everybody enjoyed the Super Bowl or whatever. I don't know if it's still going on or not. I was more so interested in the halftime show, so wasn't really into it like that. But anyway, yeah, nonetheless, hopefully everyone's day was good. Everybody enjoyed their weekend, even though it felt like super short. Yeah, and hopefully everyone is having a good February. Got some great things planned, especially with Valentine's Day coming up as you celebrate that. Also, like I said, Black History Month. Hopefully you're, celebrating not just for this one month, but all year round, because Black history is American history, okay? Let's see. I'm gonna get some channel messages for you all Libra, my fellow Libras. As I'm shuffling and putting the cards out. I don't know why I'm hearing the word challenge, but I'm hearing the word challenge. So maybe there will be some sort of challenge that comes up for Libras. Take it as it resonates. I'm not trying to put something on Libras, because I am a Libra myself, but whatever I hear, whatever I see or feel, I'm going to say. Now, I'm not getting that this challenge is something that is like something that would be like a setback. I feel like it's more so like something that maybe gives you, you have to really like look at or really tend to it so that it doesn't get out of hand, if that makes sense. Also hearing make a wish. So I don't know, some of you Maybe you look up and you see an actual like shooting star in the sky and you make a wish, or you may be celebrating someone's birthday around this time. It wouldn't be a Libra's birthday, but you could be celebrating someone else's birthday, maybe someone in the family, you know, maybe a friend, a significant other. So yeah, I'm getting celebration, celebrating something. And it doesn't have to necessarily be like a birthday. It could be a wedding. It could be like a housewarming party, just a girls' night out. I mean, we just, you know, as well as the Super Bowl, some of you could be celebrating that. Literally, since it's today. Travel could be significant coming up pretty soon. Or either you may be planning to go somewhere. I'm getting like somewhere, I'm getting long distance. I'm not getting like a short trip, but like an extended trip. Some overseas, but for some it could just be like maybe going to like Canada, or like I'm feeling Canada, Central America, across the US. Also, like internationally, Asian countries, I'm also getting like Middle East, going somewhere in the Middle East as well. I'm here in Saudi Arabia, so I don't know, maybe someone is going over there. I don't know. I don't know. It seems very well, I don't want to say out of the ordinary, but that's usually not, usually when people go to the Middle East, they typically go to like Dubai, or, you know, Abu Dhabi, or somewhere like that. I think it's Omar, something like that. I could be saying it totally wrong, so don't quote me on that. Don't come for my head. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. Let's see what else. I'm also saying like fresh flowers, like getting yourself flowers. It's something that I like to do for myself lately. But yeah, so yeah, you may, and this could be something that you want. Maybe you are, you know, getting yourself flowers, or someone is giving you flowers, gifting you flowers, sorry. Just in time for Valentine's Day, of course, but I'm not really getting that this has anything to do necessarily with Valentine's Day. I feel like this is more so like a self-love type thing, and this is kind of like something that you do, some of you do every other week or whatever the case. You know, it's kind of like a part of your routine, to show yourself self-love. But going back to what I mentioned about the challenge, I feel like I was saying, I don't feel as though this challenge, whatever it is, I don't feel like it is something that will hold you back, or cause a setback. I just feel like it's something more like one of those minor inconveniences that kind of comes up and you're just kind of like blah. You know what I'm saying? This is something that I have to take care of. But I feel like as long as you know, pay attention to it, and whatever comes up, you know, nip it in the bud. Because it could literally be like, say you're at work and, you know, you have to put out a fire or something, like something pops up or whatever, and you're just like, okay. Like, instead of allowing this to get under my skin, I'm just going to take care of it right away, so that it doesn't fester, or, you know, turn into something bigger. All right, so, and I'm just trying to see if anything else comes out. Hmm. I'm also hearing the word surrender. So I don't know if some of you are wanting to surrender, like you're not wanting you're wanting for things to be kind of easy, um, especially maybe coming off of this weekend and going back into the week. You're kind of like, I just want things to kind of go smoothly, go easy, um, especially if you do have a challenge of some sort. It's kind of like, okay, I just want to take care of this thing and just go on about my business. But whatever the case, I feel like it'll be fine. All right, so I'm gonna turn these cards over and see what we got going on here for the week. I don't do reversals, so I'm gonna turn it around. And let's see. Okay, interesting. Two of these cards came out for Taurus, which was the Hermit and Strength. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay, and as you all know, I read column by column. I read the tarot, and then I read the oracle. So, start of the week, midweek, end of the week, okay? We're going to start with the start of the week. So, the card that came out first is Six of Wands. Love this card. And I'm also, this is kind of a newer deck that I haven't really worked with much. I think I may have used them one or two other times in my videos. So I will be reading from the book. But like with the Six of Wands, you know, six are all about support. They're all about cooperation and harmony. But in this case, with it being Six of Wands, I feel like this is kind of like rapid, things happen rapidly, things coming from all sides, angles and things. It's kind of like I said, I mentioned challenges, and with that, it's like there could be like little minor conflicts, little challenges going on, and it's just kind of like you're wondering, like, where is all this stuff coming from? Like, why is all these things, like, you know, happening? But at the same time, it's like you're overcoming it. Like, it's just like you're dodging it. Like, it's like nothing is able to hit you or you know, strike you, even though, you know. And it's kind of like, almost, it makes me think of I think it's the Eight of Wands too, where it's kind of like things kind of coming at you. It's like multiple things happening at once. But with this, you know, this is about overcoming challenges as well. You know, kind of having like self-confidence, or a need to have self-confidence. Like, it's almost like, because I see there's worthiness out here and self-sabotage, and then I'm not going to say what your affirmation is, but I like to do that at the end as a bonus, as a, you know, big surprise. But to me, this is you kind of seeing your strength, and you literally have strength out here, but it's kind of like you seeing that you were able to overcome something, and it's kind of like having confidence in that, like having confidence in the fact that no matter what obstacles, no matter what issues come along, you're able to nip whatever it is in the bud and it not go any further, you know. So this is also like you could be like receiving some recognition, especially if it's, you know, work related, and you're putting out all these little fires and things. You could be, you know, get a kudos from your boss, literally get an award for something that you did previously. What else I was gonna say? And then celebration. I think I did mention that you could be celebrating something as well. But this card also cautions though not to be ego driven when it comes to that. You have Queen Nefertiti down here accompanying the Six of Wands. So this is alchemy. So whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're overcoming, whatever methods and things that you're using to overcome these obstacles, to fix problems and things of that nature, it's almost like you have the Midas touch. Like whatever you touch, whatever you do, put your attention on, you can't go any wrong. Like you can't, like it's just like smooth like butter. Like everything just flows, everything is balanced, which a Libra loves. So it's like you're good. So I'm gonna read from the book over here and just kind of see what this book has to say about the wands. You are a wizard, Harry. Sorry. I just have to get that out. Made me think of Harry Potter. Whenever I say wands, it always makes me think of Harry Potter. Anyway, so Six of Wands, it says traits, recognition, victory. Card description. It says a woman sits on a horse on a carousel. She is victorious, basking in the fruits of her transformation through the cycles of life. The Six of Wands reminds us that our past does not dictate our future. That makes me think of my tattoo here, Sankofa. It means remember your past to get through your future, basically, and that's why it spoke to me. Also, just a little side note tidbit about me. One of my favorite authors is L.A. Banks, and she wrote the Vampire Huntress Legend series, and the main character had this symbol on the small of her back, but I didn't realize that I had been seeing that symbol, and this could be significant for some of you, maybe, I don't know, but you know how that symbol, it's another symbol for it, Sankofa, and I've noticed that a lot of the doors that we have around where I live, they have that same symbol, the same like shape and everything on certain doors, like iron doors. It's typical for it to be on there, but this is just a different version with the bird. But I got the bird because bird represents air, so air sign, so on and so forth. There's just a lot of layers of different symbolism for it. But yes, all that to say, you could be, where was I going with this? Like, future. Okay, yeah, that's the reason why I brought it up. So the Six of Wands reminds us that our past does not dictate our future, and I mentioned that because it's like, yeah, we learn from our past. It's like our past is still a part of us, but it's in the past for a reason, and we can't go back to do anything about it, but we can learn the lessons that we had in the past and bring it to our future. Like, we can use it to get through our future, if that makes sense. And that's exactly what the Sankofa represents in a nutshell. Okay, so it says let go of any imposter syndrome that may be creating self-doubt, which definitely connects to this worthiness and self-sabotage, but we're gonna get to those. Share your magic with the world unapologetically. That was one of my favorite words, unapologetically. Because yes, public recognition is wonderful when earned, but it should not operate as motivation. Success is still success, even if not recognized by others. The Six of Wands is about owning and harnessing what makes you unique. And Yang, which means the card is upright. Public recognition, completion of a cycle, growth of your craft, enjoying the fruits from the transformation after struggle, reconciliation, and reunion in relationships. In the end, this means the reverse or upside down. Self-sabotage, you have self-sabotage down here, but this was a card that wasn't reversed, but the Hermit was. So, and I don't really do like the reversals necessarily. But if I feel like it relates or anything, then I will, you know, mention it. But anyway, when I get to the Hermit card, I will, you know, like read what it says. But in the end, self-sabotage, dropping out and giving up, an accident, needing external validation. Aligning, it says record your strengths with achievements daily. Okay, and that's it. But yeah, so I just really feel like, you know, as long as you kind of stay on track with and you know, mentally, as far as like, you know, not allowing, just because, you know, things are happening, especially if they seem to be happening kind of like back to back, if that's the case for you all, or if this situation is like more than a setback, or not a setback, more than like a minor inconvenience, like it really like gets to you, you have the alchemy, you have the Midas touch, you have the magic touch, so you don't have to worry about things falling through, or, you know, having a misstep or anything like that. I feel like no matter what, you'll be able to bounce back. Okay, so now we get to the Hermit card, and of course this was the one that was kind of reversed or upside down when I pulled it out. But like I said, I don't really do reversals, but I will read what it means upside down, just in case. But you also have worthiness here. And so with worthiness, or with the Hermit card, this is represented by Virgo. So you could be dealing with a Virgo, or you could be dealing with a fire sign, or someone like they have all three of these elements in their birth chart. So yeah, Six of Wands, that would be fire signs, Hermit, Virgo, Strength is Leo. So definitely dealing with fire and earth signs. Sorry y'all, my ears itching. I don't know why my ears like that. Like my ears and my nose likes to itch whenever I'm doing intuitive work. It's like it never fails. Like I want to be inside my nose, or like on top, like the very tip. My nose wants to itch. It'd be so annoying. Anyway, but yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, with the Hermit card, this is all about like self-reflection, going inside yourself, being to yourself, like isolating, not really being in the mood to engage with others, and just kind of like sort of kind of analyzing maybe like times where you may have, you know, done something a certain way, and you're kind of mulling over, you know, what you could have said, what you could have done. And that's how I feel that Virgos and Libras kind of are the similar, because I feel like Libra is trying to weigh options and trying to figure things out, and they, you know, always seek that balance. I feel Virgo is also doing that, but just in a more analytical way. They're more so like processing data in their mind, whereas Libras more so go by feelings and, you know, the things that they did, moves that they made. I feel both signs are very calculating, very meticulous with certain things. Like I said, Virgo is more analytical. Libra is more about aesthetics, how things look, how they process, you know, things of that. So with this particular card, Hermit, I feel like, yeah, you're kind of going inside yourself. You're kind of doing some self-reflecting. This is the same with Taurus, because the Hermit and Strength card came out in that reading. So if you have Taurus placements such as me, then I would definitely suggest go looking at that reading to see what came out in there, came out in that reading, because it could definitely give you some more confirmation. But yeah, I feel like how this relates to worthiness, it's like you're there could be something, it could be something that actually really like happened that shook you or could have shaken you. And this is a Tete worthiness. That's a really pretty card. I love the colors. I love that pink. And it's kind of like my favorite color pink too. It's kind of like a passion type pink. Anyway, something could have shaken you kind of like to your core in a way. That's why I say like this could be something. I do see like for some of you, I do see putting out little fires, but I also see for some this being like something that may happen midweek that kind of shakes you to your core or shook you to your core at the start of the week, or maybe even happen over the weekend, right? And it's kind of like you're still kind of dealing with the after effects of it. And you're kind of like, it could have had you like questioning your worthiness, you know, your value, how others see your value, how others see you. You know what I'm saying? Something could have happened where you're kind of like down. You know what I'm saying? I could have did this, or could have done that differently, you know, so on and so forth. And it's just kind of like, no, you know, things happen for a reason. And no matter what, you know, especially if it's someone, like say for instance, you're dealing with your job, for instance, and you're doing, you know, you are putting forth this effort, doing all these things, and you're still not being recognized. It's like, you know, it's nice to be recognized, but like the card or the book said, sometimes when you do things, you're not going to always be recognized, and you shouldn't be doing things just to be recognized. You should be doing things because you actually want to do them. And so that could be a scenario for some of you, and that could make you kind of question your worthiness. It's like, you know, you want to be seen, you want to be noticed, because it does feel good to be noticed, but at the same time, it's like also, you know, you should be doing things to because you actually want to do them, not doing things just, you know, out of spite or whatever. Now, on the other hand, I'm also seeing where a certain situation could have made you kind of recluse into yourself. Maybe, for instance, it could have been a friendship where you thought maybe you and this other person were closer than you thought, or that you were showed, and you know, perhaps they make you feel away, or they do something that kind of slights you. You're kind of like, wow, you know, I would have never done, you know, this to a friend, but you felt comfortable doing it to me though. Significant other, or you know, someone you thought things would have gone further than what they did, and you know, the person that they were in the beginning was not the person that they became afterwards, and you're kind of like, oh, you know, you see how they're moving, and it's just kind of like, wow, I never, you know, expected that from you. Excuse me, had to take me a little sip. But I feel like, yeah, it's like you're kind of like, oh, well, I never expected for you to be this way, you know, to act this way, because you painted a picture like you were this type of person, but you're actually this type of person once that mask falls. And so it's kind of like that. And before I forget, the numbers that could be significant for you all this week are 6, 38, 14, and 24. And I already mentioned the signs that you could be dealing with. But yeah, so I feel like whatever this is, again, you're kind of going within yourself and doing some self-reflection, kind of figuring out, you know, the things that you don't want to do again, learning lessons, learning how you can move differently going forward, and, you know, putting those plans into action, especially with the Hermit card being there. Like the Hermit card, you're kind of taking in some Virgo energy, and you know, you're kind of like, okay, I know now what to do. I know how to, you know, do things differently, process things differently. and go forward. Excuse me. Okay, so end of the week, we have the Strength card. And I'm not going to, well, yes, I will. I will, because I remember I said I would, I just don't want this video to go too long. But I do want to go ahead and read the Hermit card as well as the Strength card and kind of wrap this up, because it went on a little bit longer than I wanted it to. Okay, so the Hermit card, it says traits, guidance, solitude, maybe. Card description: a man sits alone, realigning with the 4 elements and the ether. He knows the importance of taking time to retreat, as rest is revolutionary. We all need space for healing, growth, shadow, inner work, and decluttering the mind. The Hermit can be a call for a retreat, pilgrimage, or adventure to sacred lands. He reminds us that we are both the guide and the seeker. An escape can be what we need to reconfigure our actions to be authentically planted in our truth. And I'm going to skip this one little part. And it says flower, bird of paradise, freedom, joy, paradise, element, earth, chakra, third eye, and yang, that means upright, the quest for enlightenment and knowledge, self-reflection, solitude, self-introspection, inner guidance. And yin, that means upside down or reverse, withdrawal, isolation, loneliness, materialism, bottled up emotions, separation, reclusiveness, shyness or apprehension. And those are things I mentioned that could be coming out for some of you, especially with worthiness being down here. Whatever happened, it could have made you just like really draw within yourself and just not be, you know, not be really interested in conversing with people, wanting to kind of stray away from a friend group or, you know, a significant other or whatever the case. And it says avoidance of self-reflection, fixated, rigid, restrictive views. Aligning, it says do something that scares you, find your anchor. An affirmation: I take time to understand myself, becoming more conscious and self-aware. So, yeah, I feel like you definitely, it's definitely on point with what I was thinking. And it's just kind of like, I think the moral of the story is just focus on building your self-worth. If it's shaky a little bit, maybe do some journaling, do some shadow work like I mentioned in the book. Do some things, journaling, do some things that can help you to kind of self-regulate and get back to a place where you feel comfortable, where you feel confident in yourself, and get kind of into this 6 of Wands energy as well as the Strength energy, and know that you have what it takes, you have the alchemy to do what it is that needs to be done. Okay? All right, so we're going to the Strength card because, yeah, I'm going over on this video and I did not mean to. So Strength card, very self-explanatory, is represented by Leo, and it is, having strength in oneself, having, knowing or having confidence in one's ability to do things, the hard things, the things that we know sometimes we may not want to do. We may not want to focus on certain things, and we want to do other things. You know what I'm saying? We want to be like, I want to do this, I want to do different, so on and so forth. But at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, sometimes you have to do the hard thing, get it out the way, so that you can go off and do something differently or do something fun. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and read the Strength card. Excuse me, y'all. Where are you? I think I probably passed it, more than likely. I don't know why I have to have the sniffles. Strength. Okay. Alright. Okay, strength. It says traits, courage, strength, yes. Card description. A woman communes with a panther operating in a sustainable equilibrium with nature. It takes courage and power to act in accordance with your heart, mind, and soul. There is no strength without love. Strength is a reminder that if you stay grounded, you will triumph. She encourages you to be brave. You have what it takes to handle whatever comes your way. Those are those obstacles and challenges I was mentioning. The strength card does not call for brute force, but rather for a soft yet firm balance. And I will go ahead and read the questions that you can kind of ask yourself, mainly because this is asking you, to do some self-reflecting. This is asking you to kind of think about certain things. So I will go ahead and read the questions. Sorry, y'all. I'm up here yawning. I got distracted too. It says, do you trust in your capabilities? Are you ready to face the day? Do you have the strength to show both yourself and others grace and compassion? And I already mentioned some of this other things. I won't say that. But in Yang, when it's upright, it means courage, determination, persuasion, influence, bravery, overcoming self-doubt, which by the end of this week, I feel like you will get to that point. Like, you'll be like, okay, I'm not dealing with this, energy right now. And then even though you have Mama Lambo, I believe that's how you say it, self-sabotage, you're finding the strength to overcome this energy down here. And it's going to make sense when I read your affirmation over here. So you actually have two affirmations that you're going to get here just a second. But yeah, when it's in yin or upside down or reverse, it says self-doubt, low energy, weakness, feelings of inadequacy. And I feel like that's why self-sabotage is out here, because, you may have kind of like especially coming from the midweek, you may have like a blip or like a minor like bout with some sabotage energy. You could be trying to talk yourself out of getting to what it is that you want to get to before you can actually get to it, before it happens. And it's like, if you just keep on, you'll get there. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, just keep going. Don't stop. Don't give up. Oh my goodness, this is so synchronistic. Okay, so the affirmation for strength, it says, I am a fearless alchemist. And what do we have here? Queen Nefertiti, alchemy. But yeah, it says, I'm a fearless alchemist, able to transform all that is negative into that which is positive. So yeah, all that to say, trusting your abilities. You don't have to question your worthiness. You don't have to question yourself. You don't have to question yourself. Don't sabotage yourself, speaking about yourself negatively, because you can bring that on. Like, you can put that on you, and you don't want that on you. Okay? So to wrap this up, because this video is so much longer than it's so much longer than the Tauruses. I'm sorry, Tauruses, if you're cross-watching. I did not mean to go over, but I just go with the flow. You already know that. So don't hold it against me. I promise. I will try to, I always try to make it fair, and don't go too long on either one. But sometimes things just kind of flow like that. So it just goes like that. But anyway, Libras, your affirmation for the week is, I am good enough. I am worthy enough. And I know it's backwards, you can't really see it, but I am good enough. I am worthy enough. So remember that. All right, that was your weekly check-in reading for the week of February 9th. I don't think I said that at the beginning, but yeah, this is for the week of February 9th. And that was your reading. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you next time. Peace.